everyone, Devin Austin here from your Emerging Technology team, here to share some exciting Learning Accelerator updates. Today we're going to be looking at reading progress. In this video, you're going to see how you as a teacher can create an assignment and use this amazing Learning Accelerator. As well, we're going to walk through the student experience. So let's get started. All right, we're going to look at reading progress today and how you as the teacher can use this great tool to leverage learning with your students. So let's dive in. So first thing you are going to do is you're going to need to go here to Teams. And you're going to need, once you've launched Teams, go here to Teams. Now you'll notice under classes, you're going to have one that says homeroom. This is the one where you're going to create all of your assignments for reading progress. So once we are in homeroom, we're going to go in it. We're going to be met with our class view. We're going to come here to the left side and we're going to click on assignments. This is going to allow us to start to create a reading progress assignment for our students. We're going to go down here to the big purple button that says create, and we're going to go to new assignment. It's going to load my assignment environment. So a couple things. We want to give it a title. We're going to talk a little bit later about instructions. We also have some due dates, and then we have the ability here to just make sure if we have any students added later on, we're going to select this current future students. We might choose to do individual students. We might choose to do a group of students that we want to assign a reading passage to based on our reading groups that we have in our class. Now we also have something called Reflect Check-In, and this is going to allow students to reflect on learning. So I would just toggle it on. I simply can hit my preview, and just to kind of quickly show you, it's just going to ask them the question, how did you feel about this assignment? There's not customization yet. So that way you can know how they felt about doing this particular activity. So I'm going to come down here to Learning Accelerators, and very first one, Reading Progress. Now, it's going to launch my reading progress environment. You're going to notice a couple things. We can do import Word. We can do browse sample library. So importing Word or PDF simply means I have my own document and I want the ability to use that reading passage. Now, if you have things in Google Docs, it's very simple to convert. All you need to do is on your Google Doc file, download, and then you can save it as either of these formats in order to add. But sample library, if I click on that, these are passages that have been curated by ReadingWorks. So you'll notice across the top here we have grade levels K to 6. We also have a secondary tab for your 7 to 12. You'll notice a couple things here. We have the reading passage. When I hover over it, I have the ability to preview it. We have the genre. And then we have Lexile level. So again, we deal with F&P level. So you may just have to Google what 300L is in F&P language. We also have a word count. So I'm going to go here to grade 5. And I'm going to go and look at my passage, and ooh, I see one here, Westward Expansion, the Erie Canal. Now that one might go with social studies, and I could do some cross-curricular. What I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the genre, my Lexile level, and then how many words, and I'm actually going to go and I'm going to do preview. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go and I'm going to read through it, decide is this a passage that's appropriate for my students or the group of students that I want to use, and if it is, I'm going to simply go select. And it's going to load it into the environment. Now you're going to notice here, it'll give you some information, number of attempts. So we may want to click on this little box, and we may only want to give them one attempt at reading it. That way we're able to collect data and see how they are reading. So I can click right there. And 1. Time limit, I could leave that off. It's not really necessary to time students as they read. The sensitivity, we can leave that at default. Reading coach, so this is for after the reading. There's ways that we can customize reading coach, and we're going to kind of explore this one a little bit in another video. And require video, we actually want to see our students, so we're going to leave that toggled on. So anything that's purple means it's on. Now we have a really awesome check-in capability that we can use called add comprehension. So simply by toggling this on, what it's going to do is it's going to create a Microsoft form for me that I'm able to ask students questions. So I'm just going to give it a title here. I'm going to title it the same as my reading passage. Again, I can choose to give some sort of direction here. I could simply put answer the questions below, and that could just be my simple instruction. I could kind of expand a little bit more in my overall instructions if I need to. And what I'm simply going to do is I'm going to go here to add new. So I have question types. So either choice or text based types, but I can toggle over here to question suggestion. And if I have a question bank that I have used before, it's going to populate here. So under question types, I'm going to choose choice as my very first one. Now, we can read through the passage, come up with our own questions. However, we can use the power of AI to help us. So what I'm going to simply do here is I'm going to go and I'm going to copy my passage. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my browser and I am going to launch Microsoft Copilot. So by going to copilot.microsoft.com, it's going to make you sign in with your ECSD. Notice how I'm signed in right here. It's preferred because all of your data is protected. So what I'm simply going to do here under the choose conversation style, I can be more precise, balanced. I would stay in the balanced or precise, especially because we're dealing with a reading passage. And I'm going to say, make me 2 multiple choice questions about this passage. And I'm going to go Control V and I'm going to paste it in. And I'm simply going to hit submit. And it's going to come up with some questions for me. And voila, you're going to notice my questions are here. What I simply can do is I can go and go highlight my question, Control C, and what I can do is I can go back to my Microsoft team, Control V on my question box, and I can add in all of my information here in order by simply copying and pasting right here. And again, I may have to delete that option too. And I can click the correct answer. I can decide, is it required? And I can decide if I want to assign a point value or no point value to it. It's completely up to you. Now, once you've done all of your questions, how many you want to ask your students, again, you copy and paste this in. You can ask it to do the short answer, the text-based, and then you could give some sort of feedback for your answer as well, which is really awesome. When I'm happy with all of that, I'm simply going to go here to next. It's going to load it in to my environment. My assignment is pretty much ready for students. You're going to notice it attaches here. You still need to give it a title. I would just give it the passage title again. That way it's very easy for them to find, and when you're referencing it, again, enter some form of instructions if you choose. It could simply be read the passage, open it up, and go through. I might also want to decide that I'm going to go and add some other types of files. So I might decide to go here to my device, and I'm just going to upload a single point rubric for grade 5 here that students can engage with in order to demonstrate learning, and you as the teacher can go in and think about that as well. So again, one important thing, it says students can't edit. You need to make sure students edit their own copy, okay? So that's really important that you do that. Now, if I'm happy with all of my assignment, I simply just click assign, okay? And notice, as a teacher, I'm gonna see all of my information here in order to engage with this assignment. So next up, we're just gonna dive in and show you the after assignment view of what this all looks like. All right, let's jump back in. So this is the after assignment view. Now you'll notice a little bit of a different passage. However, here is how it all works. So this is the data you as the teacher are going to see. So you're going to see things like accuracy, expression, comprehension. Those are your main tabs. You're going to see their accuracy rate. And notice how things are color coded. So things like insertions, omissions, mispronunciations, all of that is really awesome because as I go through the reading passage, I can see where they need some extra practice. And again, I can also see something called practice words, and that's reading coach. So reading coach, again, is coaching students to become better readers. I have my video, I can watch and see how they're speaking, things around their fluency as well, and expression. What I can do is, as a teacher, students get a report back when you return the assignment. So what I can do is, by simply clicking edit, I can do a full report, so that means I'm not going to customize anything. Or what I like to do, and make sure you actually toggle for all assignments to be returned, including future assignments, I can click custom, and I can decide here what I actually want to show my students about their reading, and I can hit save. So I can toggle things on and off as well. I can also do something called see progress over time. So the more times you do this, the easier it is to see student data. So simply by clicking here, it opens up my educational insights for students, for that specific student. And again, I know that based on all of the things, this type of data is going to change. But notice, I can create challenge assignments for words that Nicole found difficult. I can look at my whole class, I can look at individual student, average words a minute, my accuracy rate. There's even phonics things. I can select phonics rules and sounds and create a challenge assignment for my students to practice all of these awesome skills. I can also go again in my expression and look, where did they pause, question, where was it rushed? And again, my comprehension. So it's going to bring up the actual form. It's going to bring up how Nicole did that. Again, this is going to auto grade as a multiple choice, but I need to review all of my short answer. And again, I simply can enter my feedback. I can use that single point rubric to discuss with students. I can do things like record a video for them, and every time I give them feedback or enter something, I'm able to return to them the assignment so they can see how they've done with it. So that's just a quick little overview of how you can use all of these different tools to engage students. Thanks for watching. All right, we're going to look at how does reading progress look in the student view. We're going to walk through all the steps of the assignment. So if I am the student, I'm simply going to go down here to my teams. Under my classes, I'm going to find my homeroom. In order to find the assignment, I'm going to go into this reading progress demo to show you how it would look as a student. So when I'm in my overall area that I need to be, you're going to notice under my general channel, my assignments live here or they live here. The newest is going to be at the top, so I'm simply just going to click on View Assignment. And it's going to launch the assignment for me, so I'm able to do it. So as a student, they're going to see the title, when it's due. They're going to be able to read through all of the instructions and look at what they need to do, as well as the reading progress assignment and my single point rubric that they're going to be able to launch and type and edit because they have their own copy. So as a student, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here to Matter is Everywhere, and I'm going to launch it by simply clicking on it. And what you're going to notice is here is where the assignment is going to live. So I'm going to go and I'm going to click Start. It's going to count me down. And notice at the top here, I can record. I can use my immersive reader, so I can change my text size, my spacing, my font, my background. I can go into full screen mode here. And when I go in here, it's going to pause. So I'm just going to do a little bit of the reading. Everything around us is made of matter. Clothes, trees, even water you drink. Divide matter into 4 categories called 4 states: liquid, solid, plasma. We will focus on the time. We can easily see liquids and solids around us. Take a balloon, for example. We pump air into the balloon. It viably inflates. It means gaseous matter is filling. So notice how as I go through here and go through and I keep scrolling, once I reach the end of the passage, I'm done. So I can preview as the student. Am I happy? Again, do I want to try again to use this recording? Again, in this assignment, I didn't do the unlimited attempts. So that is one thing. You won't see this if you only gave them 1 attempt. If I'm happy with it, use this recording. It's going to attach it to my assignment for me. So after it's all done and everything is attached and the video has loaded into my assignment, boom, right away here, I need to complete this check-in. All right, I'm going to read the question. I'm going to click what I think is correct. And I'm just going to type something in each of these because they are required. And if I'm happy with it, I click submit. All right, now this is the awesome part. We can review our form for the multiple choice, but what I do is, I need to do some reading coach. So reading coach simply is any words that students struggle with during the passage, it's going to allow them to now practice. So if I click reading coach, it's going to notice, okay, I had a little
Next
bit.
step, practice. Select any word to...
Okay, and I can mute the robot. These are words that it thought I had trouble with or I mispronounced. So maybe I want to do liquids. I'm going to click it. So now I can decide to either hear the word, I can decide to stretch the word, or I can see a picture of the word to remember. And again, then I can say the word. Liquids. And it's going to go here, and I can go through all of my different words, decide to practice them, not practice them, and simply by clicking home, after I'm done practicing, I'll see if I have a star. That means I actually practiced the words. You, as the teacher, can see which words were practiced and not practiced. They click I'm done, and it takes them back. They can now engage with the single point rubric. When they're ready, they're going to simply do turn in. So after they've turned in, again, my teacher wanted me, how did I feel about the assignment? I'm okay. I can give them that. I was maybe reserved, maybe I was a little bit calm. I can submit all of this to my teacher to tell them. Now, nice kind of thing here, as the teacher, I'm then going to jump back into my actual assignment here. Okay. And again, as I showed in my teacher video, when I'm viewing the assignment, I'm going to go and I'm going to click on a returned student. So I'm going to click on Nicole's. This is from a different reading. Again, remember that I'm able to see all of these things. Okay, I'm also able to look at her practice words, what tools she used within Reading Coach itself, and how that all looks. Okay. Now, one other thing that I do want to show you, again, this is kind of teacher and student view. When I'm in my teams, and I'm going to go here to our striving readers, if I am in my view assignment, okay, and I'm going to use this westward expansion one to help. If I go up here to edit assignment, and again, I can't change this once it is there. But what I can do here, I'm just going to go back into this. So this reading passage has been assigned. We can't edit it. I did want to point that out to you. But one thing I did want to show you is Reading Coach. So again, when we want students to practice, we can customize this Reading Coach. So we can decide what tools are available, the voice, and we can save. So again, as the student, that's what everything looks like. Please reach out to your emerging technology team if you have any questions.